and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Moomin house, stage 21. And I actually started this video before, but I got a phone call right in the middle of it, right 45 seconds in, so I wasn't going to use that video footage. All I'd done was pulled these parts out of the bag. So let me go ahead and open up the book, and we'll get started on this. And I'm sitting here having looked through the instructions. I'm torn between doing it the way they say and doing it the way I've done other parts of the house. I think what I'm going to do is actually stain this rather than paint it. So let's look at the parts. We've got the sofa seat, sofa back, the armrests, and these are pretty thick pieces of wood that we're going to cut these out of. There's total of, it looks like 6 pieces total. This wooden strip is going to help line up the armrests. We got 3 walls and the floor for the pull-out cellar. So the first piece that we're going to install is the back wall, and it's just going to glue on here like this. See, it says line along, ensure wall is vertical. Okay. And something to point out on the side walls, they are beveled to match the rest of the house. That way you've got the round base. And these track pieces here are actually going to slide into the cellar foundation that we were working on before. So let me put some glue in here. The glue tips should be pretty clear today. Should being a really big word very often, because this one's acting like it's clogged. Not completely clogged, just enough that I have to squeeze it pretty good to get glue to go on. And I'm doing a liberal amount on both the top or bottom and the back of this piece. Wipe that excess off there. We're going to slide this on here, and we're going to make sure that it lines up on the ends, because if it doesn't, the sides won't fit. This time I actually have a little bit of excess that I need to wipe out of there. That's not working very well. These are not very absorbent, to be honest. Bought them on Amazon. They're nice, but they're not perfect because they don't absorb very much. So let me set that down. Then we're going to take this next piece, which is going to be the right wall. I think, no, this is the left wall. But you have to make sure you put glue along this edge and this edge, because it's got to glue to the back wall as well. May have to pause and get that gunk out of the tip for this, because it's making it really difficult to get any glue out. What usually happens is that a blob of glue will come out at one point, and it'll be just a whole bunch of glue that comes out. Let's see if I can pull it out. And I'll end up losing some of the glue and have to wipe it off. That should be enough. I don't want it oozing out like it did on the other piece. So I'm going to bring this in here, lay it against the side. Making sure that it is flush up against the front, while also making sure it stays tight against the side here. Just like that. You want to have as good a connection as you can all across the side. Let me go ahead and do the same thing on this one. You may notice I'm putting on the wider flap for the back, I'm putting the glue more to the center. And on the side, I'm putting it to the corner. Just trying to make it come together best I can. Go ahead and turn this upside down. Make sure everything is matching up the way I want it to. I mean, if it comes out wrong, I can unglue it. That's a pain in the butt. You end up usually breaking a little bit of the wood off. So I'm going to leave that be right now. Let the glue set and dry. Get these pieces out. One thing I don't like is they painted, actually I'm not sure if that's paint or what that is, but they put this on here to be kind of like primer. The only problem is glue doesn't stick to it very well. I mean, not glue, but paint doesn't stick to it very well. So I'm going to have to rough that up before I paint it, because it does need to be painted. And you can see here, they're using black, 1 part black, 1 part cobalt blue, and 3 parts brown paint. And what they're really doing kind of is staining it, because they put 10 parts of water in, stir it, and then they paint it. Why make a stain when you can use a stain? I have stain available. Let's see. Yeah, this oak stain is what I'm going to use instead. Works really well. Just have to make sure I don't put it on too dark. I did put it on too dark on one spot, so one of the ceiling panels, so I have to do a little bit of a test. I'll do it on the outside first to make sure. So let me go ahead and flip the page, because I'm going to let that dry quite a bit before I do any staining on it. Let me see. No, they just got some pictures here. So first thing we do is cut out these parts. I'm going to go ahead and cut these parts out, and then I'll come back. Okay, got all the parts cut out, and they're up here on with right and left. And I did read the instructions a little bit. This is why there's 2 separate types, 2 separate blocks. This block is the outer edge, and so these do not lose this piece. So these are slanted, you can see there, and the slant has got to go to the front. So then it says take this little stick, you see the mark right there, cut that mark. What you're going to do is you're going to use this to line these pieces up as you glue them. So let me go ahead and cut this, and then I will glue the pieces together and come back after they're done. Might need to use something besides my scalpel, because it's just flexing. Scalpels are great for cutting a lot of things, but when it comes to hard cutting, you need something better. So I'll be back after I glue the armrests together. Okay, been a little while. I'm back using an acid brush like I did before. First thing I'm going to do is try this on the back just to make sure. And it does actually say to stain the outside too, or paint the outside. And it looks pretty good. I mean, you know, the acid brush may not be the best method to stain, but it's cheap and you can throw it away. And it does say to do like I am. You do the stain along with the grain of the wood. And I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get too much in any one spot. Right here you can see a problem. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera. Problem with using a brush at all to stain is that it tends to splatter a little bit. Didn't have a glove on. I'm getting a glove for my left hand so I don't get stain all over myself. So like I said, it tends to splatter a little bit. So you have to be careful how much stain you've got on the brush when it comes off the edge. Got to go slowly when you come off the edge so that you don't splatter the stain everywhere and get things you don't want stained. At the same time, you need to do a nice even coat. And if the stain is not soaking in, if it's not drying to your satisfaction, it's really simple. Let me grab the lid so I have somewhere to put the brush down. It's really simple. What you do is, like right here, I've got stain that's not soaking in. You just wipe off the excess. So there you can see what it looks like stained, and that's what it looked like before it was stained. So I'm going to pause here, go through and get stain all over the outside, because it does say to stain the outside. Then I'm going to stain the inside, and we'll be back. Okay, there is the box for the cellar, stained. You can see the wood grain doesn't run up and down like you might expect on paneling inside there. It runs from side to side, but I think it looks really, really cool. I love it. It might look a little bit different had it been, well, it would look a little bit different had it been painted, but I like the real wood tones. So let me set that here. It should be mostly dry. I'm going to leave it on the wax paper just in case. Let me go ahead and throw this away. Grab a old paper towel because I let the brush sit there. And now we'll go back to the couch or sofa, however you want to call it. And you can see now there is a slant on both pieces. So what I'm going to do is sand these down, touch them up. Already sanded this down a little bit, trying to rough it up. It actually made it too really smooth, and you can see some little dust is still there. Next thing to do, and I'll do that before I work on the arms, is to make sure that the back attaches on here. You got to make sure that that notch faces the way it does. This bevel here is where the back's going to attach. This notch needs to face up. It says to glue it flush on the bottom like this, white side to the back. And I did just clean the nozzle on this bottle, so it should work really well. I need to probably just add a little bit of glue to this because this bottle's about half empty, and glue doesn't compress, but air does. So if there's a bunch of air in there, the air will compress, and it makes it a little bit difficult to get the glue to come out. So this will go on here, and this is one of these things if you got to put it in place and then hold it by hand, because I don't think there's any real good way to clamp this. And you work it at the same time you do the arms, so that when you put the arms on, if you need to, you can. It's still not cured enough to where you can actually make adjustments, and it keeps falling off. So that should be good for right now. We do some real quick finish work on here. You can see the lines where I cut it off just to smooth it out, and then I will glue this to the couch back. Okay, did a little bit of sanding, mostly to knock the edges off. So you can see, if you remember right, that's slanted, and the slant is so that it will match up with the slant on the back, like that. So let me go ahead and throw some glue on these parts, and then we will wrap this up. Like I said, a little bit of glue on here. And I have looked ahead that this will be painted and there's some more upholstery to be done. The upholstery is a real pain in my behind, to be honest. I'm pretty sure right about now, Donnie just said, no, lie to us. Lie to us about the model. Okay, get this on here. And it's a little bit of a slant. Not only is it a slant on the back, but it's a slant on the side. So let me go ahead and get the other one glued up. And like I said, I'll come back and we'll close out this video. That is, if I can get it to pause. Okay, there we have the couch, or at least a start on it. In the next issue, we're going to be putting some woodwork up there, legs on it, and more cushions. If you remember the dining room chairs, those cushions can be a royal pain. But that's where we're at right now. Making sure I'm just looking. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, here on this side, you want it as flush to the seat and the back as you can get it. That way it will go together a lot easier once you do the cushions. So, hope you're enjoying this video. I'm having a blast making these videos and making the Moomin house. Sometimes I don't give it enough love because I'll sit there and I'll look at it and I'll go, this stage is going to be a royal pain. Next stage, stage 22, is going to be a pain in the behind. But I'm not going to put it away for a couple of weeks and let it sit because Fan Home and DeAg are not able to ship right now. They've got more orders than they expected, so they're not shipping Optimus and RoboCop right now. I'm actually supposed to have those parts on hand already, so we'll see what happens. Got Ecto parts and I've got Moomin parts on the way. So like I said, preview of the next video. There's a lot of work going on with that couch, to include painting and getting the cushions in there. Since I used spray paint on the table and the chairs, I'm probably going to continue on with the spray paint. It's a lot easier. It takes about 30 seconds to paint the couch. And you do all that painting before you do the cushions. Excuse me. So, like and subscribe. Come on over to Hobby Town Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. Hit the bell icon to be notified of anytime I post a new video. Take care of yourselves. Have a great day today. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you on the next video.